Today we are going to be talking about our theme here, Be the Change. And so as we're waiting for some folks to join us, I want to wish you a happy International Happiness Day, and just wanted to settle us in here, invite us to recall maybe a way in which we may have brought change and happiness to someone's day today. Maybe it was to yourself. So if you wouldn't mind, in the comment section, if you want to add in your thoughts about something that you've done today to bring a little change and happiness to yourself or someone else. I'd love to see those comments. Special thanks to Jolynn, who's behind the camera today. Thank you, Jolynn. All right, so welcome to those that we have joining. Do we have any comments yet on? No? Nobody wants to frame it? Well, thank you for being with us today so that we can change a little bit of the vibration within us and within our community. And so, we're so grateful that you decided to join us and that we can be together in this way. We can't be together in this amazing space here that's now the Stadium Studio in Northfield. So I'm going to begin us today. We're going to explore a little bit of the normal practice that I try to guide on Friday mornings at 7 a.m. If you try to tune in this morning, you realize that I messed that up. I misplaced my key to the studio, but we just flown with change, and so grateful that we can make it happen for us to be together this afternoon. And so we're going to start with a little bit of more yin poses, and if you're not familiar with yin, that's totally fine. We'll adapt them today so that you don't need a ton of props, but we'll still get us some of the flavor of what yin is all about. And so for those that have practiced yin, you know that it's very different. We're going to go into some poses, we're going to hold them for probably today, can keep it to a minute. You're welcome to, when you go back and play back the video, to add some time, maybe another minute or two, to some of these postures. Because the work that we're doing is related to our connective tissue and to our fascia and to our joints, so that we can get some change effects going on in those places. So we're not working muscles, we're working more when the body is cold rather than warming up. So these postures you're going to see maybe look somewhat similar than what you may be used to in some of our traditional yoga classes, but we'll be doing them to start. And so I brought here with us an orange to think about this. And so if we were to cut open this orange and think about all the little dividers between the segments of the orange and then down into what encapsulates the juice of each one of the pulp, that is our connective tissue. And so we can think about that in our bodies that's weaving in and around our body parts. And so as we come into this, I want to invite you to find a way at first to be comfortable sitting. Now, sitting in whatever way, you can be in a chair, you can be on the floor, you can be on a blanket, such as I am here. It could be a pillow, and then allowing yourself to sit up. And we're going to place our head above our shoulders, above our heart, above our hips. And so just for a couple breaths here, allow us to tune in. If you tuned in with me on Monday, you know we talked about rhythm of our breath, and maybe for you that's a 3 count in and a 3 count out. Maybe it's a 4 count in and a 4 count out. Maybe there's some variation for you. And so I just want you to find a place to sit, to be. Perhaps you're feeling like you really just need to lay down right now, and so I invite you to do that. And then together, we're going to take 3 breaths to your comfortable rhythm and pace. Allow yourself to notice your breath in. comfortable, complete breath out. Again, 2 more. Your rhythm, your nature of breath in and breath out. One more time, we breathe together. Awesome. So I hope that has helped you to be present here. Again, I'm so grateful that you're taking this time to create change within your body, within your cells, so that that change can ripple to those around you. And so the first thing that I'm going to invite us to do is we're going to come into either a child's pose, or you can be on your back with your knees hugged in. When I do this with kids, I call it acorn pose, right? So we're curling up like a little acorn, perhaps like a little seed. And so we can kind of get nestled in and close to ourselves here. And so you have choices. You can be doing this face down in your child's pose, or you can be on your back. So I'm going to show you both options and invite you to take the one that best serves you today. So if you're coming into child's pose, you can let your knees be underneath your hips, and then allow yourself to sit back as comfortable as possible so that your arms extend long and your forehead comes down to the mat. Perhaps your hips stay up above your knees, or they come down further. Again, if you're at home and you've got your pillow or blanket or something and you want to tuck it there to give you a little bit more comfort. So that's one option for you. Perhaps you would rather be on your back. So finding one of those options that will work for you. And I'm going to look at the time here and allow us to come to this posture for a minute. And so choose your posture now. Continue to be aware of the pace and the rhythm of your breath. The state and quality of your mind. Allow each breath to bring change of the day. Bring a little more joy and happiness. Find 3 more breaths wherever you decided to be. And then again, you get to choose. If you're sitting onto your back, you're going to hug your left knee in. So we'll start with the left, as we typically do in yin poses. If you were instead in your child's pose, I'm going to invite you to stay facing down, if this feels okay, and allow the left knee to come underneath your ribs. Again, if you're coming with your belly towards the mat, you can also begin to place a blanket or cushion underneath you for some extra support. And so I invite you to choose the option that works best for you, the one that is going to allow you to focus on redirecting your thoughts, your intentions, your breath back to you. And so either choosing on your back or on your belly, and we'll stay here with the left side drawn in first, and we will begin now. When we come to these yin poses, it's a chance for us to reflect a chance for us to be in a state of meditation. And I invite you to think about the intention and the theme for us today, to be the change. And what does that ring true to you in this time? I invite you to take 3 more breaths. Your rhythm, your true nature. And then as you begin to come out, you can come back to your child's pose or hugged in with those knees, hugged in towards your chest. Perhaps if you're on your back, you can do a little rock from side to side. If you're on your stomach in child's pose, you can begin to even move the arms from side to side. And so as we come to these poses, we may notice some changes that we're creating from the effects of the poses. And so we will see if we can work with that and try to find some effects that may be similar, or maybe they're different on each side. And so I invite you to really notice how each side of the body might be responding a little bit different to each of these postures. So now that we've started with the left side, as we typically do with our yin postures, we'll move on to the right side. Now, you have the choice again. You can decide to do exactly what you did on the first side, which might be the thing that feels right and true for you. Or perhaps the other option that you didn't try might be what you need. Now I invite you to really take a notice that if that need needs to come from communication with the body, perhaps there's an injury or something. So I'm going to invite you to choose what will work for you for the second side of this posture. If you're coming face down, you're in what we call in yin as swan pose. Maybe as we come to this pose, which we will begin our 1 minute count now, we can think about something in our day that maybe we were able to flow with. Flow on the surface of the water just as a swan would. Again, as we come to this pose with a chance to be in a place of reflection, I invite you to think about how you have been able to flow with the changes that were presented to you today. As we flow with our black breath here in swan pose. Notice how you are flowing with change. Great job. I know it can be hard to stay in these poses. And so allow yourself 2 more breaths here. And then taking a notice, either in your child's pose or on your back, knees hugged in. Notice any effects, any changes. And then we'll all meet on our belly, coming down to the mat, so that the body can be long. And first I want you to think about stacking your hands as if they were, maybe say pancakes, or perhaps they were sushi rolls. Can you tell I'm hungry? Sorry about that. And so allow your forehead to press into your hands, allowing this prefrontal cortex, this front part of our brain that is allowing us to process and make all of these changes and make all of these tough decisions. And so allow that pressure to be on the forehead, relaxing the prefrontal cortex. Perhaps there's a little massage from side to side that would feel good here. Take a couple more swipe side to side here in the forehead. And then you can still the head and let the left leg grow up towards the sky and long back behind you. And then lower the left leg down. We'll do the same to the right, lifting and allowing it to draw towards the space behind you. And then lower. And then we'll bring our hands so that our palms are right underneath our armpits and our elbows hug into our ribs. Allow your forehead to look down and then take a gentle press of your hands, lift up for a little gentle cobra pose. Press into the tops of your toes. Let your jaw have some space. Exhale and lower. We'll do 2 more with the breath. So inhale, let yourself come up. Exhale and lower. Great job. Allow that breath to rise you up. Exhale and lower. And then the next we'll do is we'll let the elbows come underneath the shoulders this time. And then we're creating a 90 degree from the shoulder to the elbow to the wrist. Allow the palms to be open and spread just enough. So we don't need to overdo these efforts here, but bringing some effort and ease to this posture. This posture allows us to open the heart, open the chest. This is our Sphinx pose. And so as you do this, allow the attention to be to the tops of the toenails, draw energy to the tops of the toes. Allow the hands to maybe gently hug towards the heart. And imagine as if the heart is coming towards me a little bit more, allowing an isometric activity here between the heart and the hands. Allow the gaze to be down right in between the thumbs, relax the neck, find neutral. Take 2 more breaths here. Breath can come out the nose, breath can come out the mouth. Awesome job. We're going to come back down, stack those hands as you feel comfortable. Again, you can let the head get a massage. This time you might want to lift the feet, and you might want the feet to take some action side to side. I'll give you a look at that from a different angle. Great job. The next we're going to do is bring those hands back underneath the shoulders, elbows hugged in towards the body, and then allow yourself to come up to a table. Create some length of the spine, and let the tailbone to the crown of the head find length. I have another special pose for you that I'm often told is many favorites, especially if you are on the computer today and typing away, or maybe you were driving, and so we're going to find a little release for our wrists. So this is another pose that can be done in a yin practice or non-yin practice. And we'll start though with the left hand. Turn the left fingertips away from you, out towards the left side. If it feels okay, stay here. Or perhaps you're feeling like maybe you want to see if the intensity is a little too much for you to bring your fingertips towards your knee. If that is the case, and this isn't feeling right for you, come back to the fingertips out towards the left. And so again, choices that you get to make in the change that you're creating in your body and making space within your wrists, space in your jaw, space in that mind, so that we can have growth mindset. So we can allow ourselves to flow with the changes that are ever constant around us. Soften the elbow. Take 2 more breaths here. shifting if you need to. And when you're ready to come out, turn your fingertips back towards me. Press your wrist and your palm in towards the earth. And then if you'd like, come up and give it a little roll out. We'll do that same practice and same sequence on the right hand side. And so you can allow those right fingers to come out towards the right. Stay here if that feels right for you. Maybe you want to turn it up. Again, as you are doing this, if you need to come out and you need to make a change, you're listening to you. And so let the spine continue to be long. Soften where you can in the jaw, in the shoulders, in the fingers perhaps, in the toes. Find 2 more breaths here. Awesome. Go ahead and press the palm back into the earth. Feel it through every finger, and then go ahead and release that. Awesome. So our next posture is going to be a gate pose. And so in your gate pose, we're going to come back from that table pose, but start to extend now the right leg. So we'll start to shift away from more of our traditional yin postures into some postures that will have a little bit of movement with them. And so from your gate pose, if you've got blocks, you can allow them to come in towards the side of the body. And then bring your hands to your hips. And so with this gate pose, I want you to look down and see that you've got your hip, your knee, and your ankle aligned. Again, if you've got any issues going on in your knees, perhaps getting some extra padding would feel better, or maybe skipping this posture altogether. We'll start here in our gate pose. The toes can be directly pointed to me, or I like to have mine slightly angled out. That's just the dynamic of my ankle. So notice for you what that is. And so from here, from the hands to the hips, we're going to make some change. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Take a length in. Exhale, begin to drop down your right hand to your right leg and allow the body to start to arch over. Find some space into the side body, into the intercostal muscles, into the hip. Take a breath in here. Have the gaze the way that feels right for you down to the earth, maybe looking under the armpit or up higher. Take one more breath here. As you inhale, draw up that left hand, and now it's going to come right underneath your shoulder. It can be onto the earth, it can be onto a block, and allowing the right hand to extend upwards to the sky. From fingertip to fingertip, we're creating, or fingertip to wrist, I should say, we're creating a straight line. Allow 2 more breaths here. Again, change the gaze for you so that it supports your neck and head the best for you. One more breath. And then an inhale again, allow yourself to come back up. Bring back in that right knee. And just allow yourself a moment to come to neutral. Perhaps for you, inhale, both arms up overhead would feel good, bringing the hands to your heart. And we're going to find that on the next side. And so as you come into this gate posture, allowing the left leg to extend long. Again, notice how our knee is feeling. If you want that padding, perhaps it's to a different height as it was on the first side. Hands come back to the hips. Take that look down for our hip, to our knee, to our ankle. And noticing again, for you, are the toes straight pointing towards me, or is there a slight angle? I noticed for myself on this side, I don't have quite the angle that I did when I was on the first side. So from hands to the hips, we'll rise up with the breath, lifting ourselves up, allowing the inhales to lift us, to bring us new, fresh energy, And then exhale, begin to arch over. Bottom leg can be on, our bottom arm can be on the leg. Top hand, if it's extended and that feels good, please continue to do so. You also have many options to change it up for you. We've got 2 more breaths here. Make that change with the gaze to support you as best as feels comfortable for you. Again, we inhale and rise up. Hand can drop down to the earth, to a block. Didn't mention it, but hopefully if you don't have blocks at home, you're using something else like books or a soup can. And again, finding that alignment from fingertip straight down, through the heart, down to the wrist. Staying here for 2 more breaths. Finding the gaze that serves you best. I know some of you out there are probably wanting a little lift. If you haven't already and that was calling to you, I hope you're doing what serves you best. Inhale, lift up. Come back to neutral. Awesome. I'm so glad that we can be again together in this place, in this space, in this time to make some change. And so we started our practice with our more yin-like class, and then we're starting to shift into some more movement. I'm going to invite us to come to some sequencing that is around our warrior poses. And so right now you might be feeling that the change that you are making feels like you're in battle, right? I know I do. And so it's choosing as to what battles I am deciding to go into. And so for me, I'm trying to stay focused on that battle of bringing peace, of bringing courageous action for myself and others, and also of bringing love, unconditional love. And so as we come into the sequence, I invite you to come with the intention of what you are seeking here. And so our first posture will be to come into a star pose. 5-pointed star. So we'll start here. And so looking down at your toes and seeing that your toes are all lined up towards the long side of your mat. I know I have 2 mats here, but we'll choose the bottom one and be long onto the mat. We'll start then with our right leg, we'll start right, and we'll turn those right toes so that they face your short side of your mat. Hands can come from your hips to your shoulders, and then straight out long, fingertip to fingertip. Finding warrior 2. Take a breath here. Take a breath out. Perhaps inhale and extend both arms up overhead, straighten the leg, and then exhale, settle back in. You might find that your stance needs to change and widen or shorten, up to you. Take another inhale, flip that right palm, reach it up and back. Finding peaceful warrior with an extended arm or a bent arm, maybe the bottom wraps around the hip. Take a breath here. Settle in the breath out. Keep that bend in the right knee. And then inhale long, back up, warrior 2. We're going to find a side angle, so allow your right hand, right forearm to come down to your knee, and allow the upper hand to reach up long. Perhaps you stay here, or maybe the bottom hand lifts up as well. And so we're going to start to fire up, draw the legs closer towards one another, engage the belly. Take a breath here. I call this my love warrior, reaching for those that I love. Inhale back up, warrior 2. Turn all of your toes to face me towards that long side of your mat, wherever that may be, and then allow the arms to inhale and expand, 5-pointed star. This posture is said to build confidence, to build courageous warriors for peace, for love. We're going to find that on the second side. So turning those left toes towards your short side of the mat, let your palm be towards the ground, or perhaps your shoulders are really feeling it, right? So let those palms flip up, let the shoulders roll down, and stay there. Flip the palms back down to the earth. Look that you've got fingertip to fingertip, creating a straight line. Look out over those left fingertips. Take an inhale. Exhale. Inhale, straighten that leg and reach the arms up. And then as you exhale, decide if you need to make a change. Perhaps walking that back leg, that right leg further away. Take a breath here. Take that breath out. Inhale, flip that left palm, reach it up and back. Find peaceful warrior, extended arms or bent. Find your breath in. Feel your breath out. Inhale, come back up, warrior two. We'll find our side angle or our love warrior here, reaching with our top arm, and perhaps the bottom arm wants to reach as well. Keep that bend into the knee. Find your inhale. Smooth breath out. Inhale back up, warrior two. And then turning the toes, find your star. Hands can come to the hips. Give yourself a little roll of the shoulders. And then look down at your feet. You can heel toe those feet together, or perhaps hop and come into a mountain pose. Finding yourself strong and stable on your mountain. Feeling the joy, feeling happiness, feeling the change that you are creating in your body. Take a moment to listen and feel. Notice what you are creating within you that will have that ripple effect to those around you. Take a big breath in, reach the arms up. We're going to find a forward fold. So as we exhale, you can softly bend the knees, allow the top of your head as much as able to find the earth, or perhaps for you, you're finding a block or two to let your hands rest on. Another option is to take the hands to the elbows and let yourself dangle here. As much as able, let the top of the head find the earth, take a shake out. Another option for you is to reach behind the back, bring a little clasp to the hands and then extend the arms up. Knees can stay bent or locked, maybe a little, or maybe it feels okay for you to straighten the legs. Take 2 more breaths here in our forward fold. This is an inversion. This is allowing us to make change, looking at the world a little differently upside down. Bring your hands to your low back, where your pockets might be, or a little higher than that. And then draw the energy down to your feet, root down and rise up. Inhale the arms, sweep up. Exhale, hands to your heart. And so again, noticing the change, noticing the effects of what you are cultivating in your mind and in your body through this practice. I hope you're feeling good and strong and confident and courageous. We're going to shift now to coming onto our mats, letting our legs be long. And then just give a little shake out. And so from here, we're going to find Janu Shirshasana, which I like to think of it as like a falling tree. And so it's very similar to our tree pose. So we'll start with the right leg, and we'll let the right leg come, the sole of the right foot into the left leg. If you need to move any flesh away so that you can sit rooted in your sit bones, I'm going to invite you again to find that blanket, that cushion that might feel good for you to be sitting up on. If so, come just to the edge of that. And then allow your arms to reach up on an inhale, sweep up. Exhale, begin to bow forward. As we bow forward, the hands can softly land by the knee, the thigh, the shin. Maybe they're by the feet. Or, again, coming to our blocks. We're going to find 2 more breaths here. Nice job as you inhale, come back up. Let the legs be both long and allow any noticing of how that feels. And then we'll find that on the other side. Remember to be open to changing the posture, so if the blanket doesn't feel right for you on the second side, You have that choice to make that change. Allow the hands to inhale and sweep overhead. Take a nice breath here. Extend long, the top of your head, and then exhale and bow. Allowing this bow to come to the place that just feels right for you, that brings you joy, that brings you happiness. No need to push. Find 2 more breaths here. Notice that ocean-like quality of the breath as we remember to flow with the change. To be that change so that we create that ripple of change, that ripple of kindness, of peace, of love. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, both legs go long. Perhaps your body is telling you that there's something in particular that you are needing. And so I'm going to invite you to just take a listen to what it is that you might need. And we call this yogi's choice. And so allow yourself to explore that movement that would feel right for you now before we shift onto our back. I know for me, I'm bringing my hands behind me, fingertips towards my body, and allowing my knees to go side to side. Just taking a windshield wiper here, just giving a massage into the glutes, into the piriformis area. Maybe that's a place you hold tension, like I seem to do, so that might feel right for you. Find 2 more breaths wherever you are, wherever you chose to listen into your body. And then we're all going to come down onto our backs. And we're going to do similar as what we did to start. We're going to hug in now the right leg and let that right leg hug in towards our heart. And as you do so, I invite you to think about how the statement, I can be the change, how that might feel for you in your body here. I can be the change. Again, one more time, allowing that statement to see if it resonates with you. And then letting the right leg be long. Take a notice to the change and the effect from the right side to the left. And then we'll hug the left side in. As we come to this left side, we're going to continue down here with our statements that everything is okay. And just noticing for you, if that statement is something that feels right and true, it doesn't have to be something you say with long. Maybe one more breath. Everything is okay. Awesome. In the next pose, we're going to hug both knees in towards center. Perhaps for you, that might mean that the knees look a little bit different. They can be further away, arm's length away. And then I'm going to invite us to our third statement here. Everything is figure outable. Again, just noticing if the statement resonates. Everything is figure outable. Everything is figure outable. And then bringing your feet down to the earth. Let the feet press into the earth. And then as you're able, let the weight shift into the feet. Allow the hips to lift. Find a little bridge here. And then exhale, lower down. Again, inhale, press through the feet and lift the hips. Exhale and lower. You can find that with some stillness if you'd like, lifting the hips, or keep moving for 2 more breaths through that posture. And then once you lower back down to the ground, we're going to take the knees over to the right side. And so keeping the feet planted, allow the knees to shift to the right. The arms can come out to a T, just as we did in our 5-pointed star or in our warrior pose. And then allow yourself to gaze away from your knees. So knees to the right, gaze to the left. Finding here the rhythm, the listening of your breath. Or maybe one of the mantras, one of the statements that we've had is coming to you. Something that you want to echo through life. 2 more breaths here in this reclined twist. And then inhale, the knees to the sky. We'll let the knees come to the left, gaze to the right. Settling in here for 4 more breaths. Again, noticing where the mind is wandering, or maybe it's steady. Perhaps there's a word or a phrase that you've heard in our practice that's staying with you. Allow yourself to repeat that for 2 more breaths. And then as the knees come up, perhaps you want to take a posture that we've already done. Maybe it's a bridge, maybe it's a hug in, perhaps it's a happy baby, allowing the knees to be wider, the soles of the feet to the sky. Hands can come behind the knees or reaching for the big toe. All options. Take 2 more breaths. And then we'll extend our right leg long to the mat and the left leg long. You can situate yourself so that your toes are holding out a little beyond your heels to the outer edges of your mat. The palms can be up in a gesture of being open to receiving change. Perhaps you have with you at home, as we have here, an eye pillow or some hand hearts. And if you need those, please reach out to us. Perhaps bringing a blanket to cover the whole body or over the hips. And we'll allow ourselves a few minutes to settle here. Allowing us to scan the body from the toes to the knees. Notice where you can create some more deeper relaxation. We're deep knowing that everything is okay. From the knees to the hips, allowing yourself to feel the support and weight underneath those of the earth. Feeling from your hips to the shoulders, all that's in between. Noticing the space. Noticing the change. Noticing change that you've created. From your shoulders to your elbows, to your wrists, to your fingertips. Noticing them settle into this knowing that everything is figure outable. Feeling from our shoulders to the back of the head, the top of the head, and the face, and the throat. Allowing those spaces and places to change, to soften, to come with ease. Notice the state of change that you are feeling within your body, within your mind. Notice the change that you have created and cultivated right here, taking some time for yourself. And then when you're ready, wiggle your fingers and toes. If you have those hand bars, you can give them a little gentle squeeze. You can let the head rock side to side. Let the eye pillow fall off when it's ready, without forcing it, letting it fall to one side or the other. And then allowing yourself to curl up onto the right side, perhaps, will help you feel a little more present in the grounded effects of our practice. Using that right arm as a pillow. And then pressing yourself up to a seat. Feeling your head over your heart, over your hips. Take a big breath in, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale the palms together at your heart. Perhaps the palms are resting on your heart. And together we breathe. Together we flow with change for all that is unseen, for all that's to come. Remembering that we can be that change, that everything is figure-outable, everything is okay. Thank you so much for taking time to be here with us. May you be well. May you be held in love and kindness and peace for yourself and all of those around you. Namaste. See you soon.